and shadows. One voice cuts through the lies like a blade through smoke.
Fear no man, fear no evil.
Because the truth is the only thing that matters.
Dance with the devil, walk with the angels, and the truth shall set you free. This ain't for the faint of heart. This ain't for the easily offended. This is where real talk lives. Because if it ain't black, it's white.
Welcome to the one, the only, the Robb Crocker Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the Robb Crocker Show. My name is Alex Gonzalez, and we have Jared Burrows with me in the studio today.
That's me. Welcome back.
How you doing, JB?
Doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. And Crocker is not here. He's actually in a special location. If you were watching last week, you'll know exactly where that is. But if you weren't here with us, I'm going to tell you right now. We are here, or Crocker is here at least, at Branch and Barrel Distilling, the place where the magic happens. Robb Crocker, good to see you.
So we're going to let Mitch give a description and talk about the quality of the bourbon, the whiskey, and the difference of everything that we drink. So I want you two guys to just hammer on Mitch, and I want Mitch to tell you what makes Branch and Barrel so decisively different from everything on the market. Mitch, Gonzo, JB, and welcome to the Robb Crocker Show.
Absolutely. Great to have you.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to meet you guys virtually. Glad to hear you like the product. That's a huge boon to my heart. But yeah, we're, as you know, we're a craft distillery out here in Centennial, Colorado. We've built this entire plant up from a an automotive garage. We took over an old automotive garage, put in our own drains, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, our own equipment. Built it all from the ground up. We use only local corn, local water, local grain, and we distill it by hand every single time and let it age. On average, for our classic bourbon, about 5 years. So a little bit of patience goes into it, but it is a labor of love. It is slow distilled, slow fermented, so that every sip goes down incredibly smooth. Yeah, it's the whole name of the game.
Well, I'll tell you from experience, when we first tried it, we were genuinely shocked about how good it was. I've told the viewers and, of course, Crocker many times, the flagship bourbon, arguably my favorite. And then right there is that wheated bourbon. I love them almost equally, but something about that flagship bourbon is just truly special. And we're cigar guys here, so, oftentimes we pair whiskeys and bourbons and scotches with our cigars. And this is obviously, being here in the studio, one of the ones that we drink, whether it's on this show, sometimes on our show, the Cigar Guys as well. And it's great timing because we've had a few other whiskey guests come on our show and share some of their knowledge. So the timing is great because now I get to understand what you're saying just a little bit better. When you guys talk about the percentages of, barley and wheat and whatever you put into there. But you know
what, Gonzo? You say barley and wheat. You realize that's not where it starts. It starts with the barrel.
Well, yeah, the barrel is going to be a lot of the flavor. You do begin with the grain, making the beer that goes to the still to make the whiskey, that goes to the barrel to make the bourbon. But the barrel is a large part of it, and that is something I think we don't talk about enough, because people talk about mash bills. They talk about pot distillation versus column distillation, which we do pot. Personally, we just find that to be more rich product. But there is a big difference in barrels when you're going to talk about char level, toast level. Is there anything done to the heads that are going to be different? Where is it stored in the rack house? And I feel like that's a conversation that I only hear come up when people talk about Stag from Buffalo Trace, because famously aged on the top rack of the rack house, that's how it gets so proofy. But that's the only time I hear anyone talk about it, and it's actually a huge deciding factor in flavor. So we do number 3 char typically. That's your basically your standard issue char level you find on barrels. But we throw in medium and heavy toasts into the mix as well to give it more depth. The difference, of course, being that a char is what you put the barrel on the flame and you get that open flame on the wood to create the charcoal barrier. But you also bring out the coconut, the vanilla, the caramel, the butterscotch you're used to getting bourbon. The toasting is more like a microwave oven where you cook the sugars inside the oak, and it brings out more graham cracker and more of your like dusty vanillas and butterscotches that kind of lend itself to a more woody sandalwood toasted flavor. So personally, we like to combine those two things together and not really highlight that it's a toasted barrel, but let the bourbon speak for itself that it tastes really good and really complex.
Gotcha.
So after listening to this and seeing this process today, Gonzo, there's one thing about me that everyone knows. There is nothing about me that is fucking patient. So this process of 3 to 5 years, I'm like, we're going to have a problem. That's not going to work out good. So after talking with Mitch, he was like, Crocker, man, you got to sit back and you just got to wait. And it's a flavor of love. That was the words he used. It's just a flavor of love. So when I heard him use flavor of love, I'm like, man, this guy is passionate about creating something that's amazing. That's why I feel so lucky to have Branch and Barrel, to be on board with the Robb Crocker Show, with Gonzo, with JB. And we talked about it, but I don't think people talk about the things that matter most when you have a brand that you identify with and you want to be part of your running down the road. So we're lucky to have the Cigar guys, having Branch and Barrel. So I want Mitch to talk about some of the product that he likes to drink, and I'm actually going to take a few sips tonight to see what my palate says it tastes like. Okay. So, Mitch, what we got here tonight?
I did bring out 3, 2 of which you guys have already tried. We got, of course, your classic bourbon. This is our 5-year flagship bourbon. It's hard to talk about Branch and Barrel and not talk about this product. We've been making it for 10 years. It's really what put our name on the map. The wheated bourbon, also difficult not to talk about because it's won 3 double golds internationally at this point. It's our most popular product that we've ever made. But my personal favorite, as the blender, is the guy who puts these together, is probably this guy here. This is our new high rye bourbon. We haven't made this before, so this is batch 1. And it is 5 years old and introduced about 22% of rye to the mash bill, which, interesting to note, to call it a high rye bourbon, it only has to have 11%. We went with 22. Now, it is not that rye spice aggressiveness you expect from rye whiskey, but rather that honeyed, toasted, kind of fresh rye flavor on top of the sweet corn bourbon. So this is personally what I'm sipping on tonight, is that high rye bourbon, just because I think it's delicious, and I'm happy to share that with you as well.
Yeah, let me try some of this high rye.
Yeah, let me just reach down here.
It's either going to be high rye Gonzo or high die Crocker in Denver.
Well, I will say, too, real quick, one of the guests that we had on our show recently, he introduced us to, I think, myself and JB, our first high rye bourbon, and I was really impressed with that, so I can't wait to try your guys' high rye. I think that's going to be fantastic. It's one of my new favorite types of bourbons.
Absolutely. It has that little complexity, those baking spices, that little sweetness to it. I just think rye is a great additional flavor.
Do you know what it tastes like?
Tell us.
Me tearing a lot of shit up later tonight. My palate, as I was a young man, I loved 151s and 103s. hell have no fury and let Crocker out, and it'll be what it'll be. So I'm trying to gain the appreciation of sipping instead of drinking. So, but it's delightful. It's got, I can't use all of the adjectives that he did with, but I'm looking forward to you guys trying it.
We're working on getting Crocker to kind of slow down, take life a little easy, have a little sip of bourbon with us, and then in a few years he'll be able to tell you it's got notes of caramel, it's got notes of, honey and vanilla. I think we'll get him there in a few years.
I really want to lessen the beer and increase the whiskey.
I didn't hear you, JB. I'm sorry.
It sounds like you need another drink, but we want to lessen the beer and increase the whiskey.
All right, so we got one of the 4 JBs tonight. I'm not sure which one it is.
We'll find out.
But I'm glad you're with us, JB. So, Mitch, let me ask you this, because one of the restaurants that we go to, we have a mixologist named Mike. It's a vineyard. It's a great restaurant. And they, what is it? Is it a Manhattan? Do they make there?
I mean, they make a Manhattan. I know that they do different old fashions.
Which one is it they smoke? That's the
Old
one I'm asking.
fashions. They smoke old fashions there.
They call it
Old
the
fashioned. It's the old fashioned.
Yeah.
So, as far as you're concerned, being in the position you're in, do you think smoking an old fashioned, putting a lid on it, giving it to a customer makes a difference?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I mean, it varies person to person. I ran the bar here for 2+ years, and I still come in and help out on the weekends, but some people don't like smoke, and I usually put it as optional on the menu, but just opening up that first whiff, getting the smoke in the face, and then you get the smoke on the top of the drink. As you drink it, the smoke will disappear just because the phenols cling to the top of the drink. But if you smoke the entire glass before you put the drink in, you'll taste smoke through the whole thing. So that's my kind of advice to that. If you just want a little smoke, smoke the top. If you want full smoke the whole thing.
Yeah, because I guess too, I mean, me personally with a smoked old fashioned, you don't want to have too much of that smoky flavor. You want it to kind of complement the drink. And personally, I like to still enjoy the whiskey for what it is, and just having a little bit of smoke added there. So that way it's balanced and it complements it more than kind of taking away from what the drink is.
JB, I'm going to get Mitch to stand up and just pick up some of these and show you guys what they have right here. So can you pick up and show some of these?
Yeah. There's a lot to point at. We have probably 24, 25 different bottles going on right now.
A lot to try.
What now?
I said there's a lot to try.
Yeah, we've got everything from 3-year bourbon in our flagship down on the end. The black and white labels are single barrel cask strength. It's currently a 6-year product, which we are finally at a place in our creation where we can actually have 6-year barrels readily available. Blended together some of the ryes and things. Some new things that just came out that are worth mentioning. We have only available here in our building a new cherry port that was made with it's a cherry port finished bourbon, I should specify, made with a cherry port made here in Colorado. And our most elusive and exclusive bottle yet, Fuserek. This one it's particularly special. So we do a product we call 3-Way. It is a cinnamon maple vanilla barrel finished bourbon. This one takes it a step further and ages it with Hungarian oak for an additional year and a half. And it tastes like Christmas in a bottle.
Wow.
So we need some Christmas in a bottle back in Florida, guys.
Just in time. We're
Yes,
a few
we
months
do.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we got cognac cask finishes, local beer finishes. We got honey cask, acacia
Show
wood.
Gonzo is the tequila. Let's see. Explain that to him.
Yeah, so like I said, it was 80% Blue Weber agave, 10% cherrywood smoked wheat, and 10% oak smoked barley. So this is technically a specialty distilled agave and grain spirit. The idea is that it captures some of the bright citrusy saltiness of tequila with a little bit of the smokiness of mezcal and then some of the cherry graininess of wheated whiskey. And so it becomes this like whole new flavor profile that's kind of unusual, but surprisingly delicious.
That does sound delicious.
Yeah, it's deceptively drinkable.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I've been getting into tequilas more, and that sounds something very interesting. And it sounds like it would be very smooth, and you can drink it neat, no problem.
Yeah, I have you tried Ocho yet?
No, I can't say I have.
I recommend it.
Okay.
It's a cool brand. They will put on each bottle because they're a little bit different each time. They'll put the specific area the agave comes from, what kind of agave, which farm it was distilled on, and it is one of the cleanest, most pure agaves I drink regularly, just as a straight sipper.
Okay.
I can't recommend them enough.
Perfect. I'll get right on that to get myself ready for the branch and barrel version.
So what I want to do, guys, if anybody has any questions for Branch and Barrel, please send them in. But I'd like to give away a couple hats tonight from Branch and Barrel.
Let's do it.
Mitch, what you got?
So we got our classic and my personal favorite, the Drink Local trucker cap with the Colorado flag right there on the side of the cap.
Nice.
It's simple. It's black. It goes with everything, but it makes a statement, and that is to support your local distilleries because we're putting our heart into it, not just our cash. And the second is going to be this the khaki corduroy.
Okay.
It's classy. It's got the rope on it. This is just kind of a throwback to a cool style, but it also has the name written right here across the back as well. So not only do you have the actual description of the name, you just have the BB logo.
I love
it's
that.
A little more non-denominational.
I think I'm gonna end up rigging the contest here and win that hat for myself.
Exactly.
It's a good hat.
Drink Local, Branch and Barrel. Guys, I couldn't be more happy to be in Denver, Colorado with Mitch, Scotty, and everybody here. And I always joke that I'm never wrong and I'm always right. So I am always right. And Branch and Barrel by far is the bourbon and whiskey of Colorado that needs to be everywhere in the United States / world.
Absolutely. What we're going to do here is we'll run a week-long giveaway. So if you miss us live, you're still going to be able to be entered into this giveaway. We'll have it here on our social media at the Robb Crocker Show. And that way we can help spread the love to everyone, and they'll be able to enter for a chance to win one of these great hats.
And if we can put a link up for the Branch and Barrel to anyone share and like, that would be great, because anytime you've got a company like this that pours their heart and soul into something, you want to see them succeed. Plus the fact that they support the Robb Crocker Show, it's imperative that we help them as well.
Absolutely. So we'll have a giveaway set up. That way we can share the Branch and Barrel brand across social media. And anyone that participates in that giveaway, spreading the word, we'll basically give them an entry to win the hat. So we'll get that all squared away by this week.
And they should be able to see the website in one of the links on our page.
Of course. So down here in the description, the Branch and Barrel link is down below. And of course, if you go to our social media at the Robb Crocker Show, the links are up there too in our sponsored posts. So you'll be able to find it, pretty much wherever you go here on the Robb Crocker Show.
Great. You still got all the old ladies and the old men on Facebook talking to you?
Absolutely. Facebook and Instagram are kicking off. So I think they'll be really excited to participate in this giveaway.
All right. Well, I want you guys to talk about how wonderful the vineyard is while I bring in our next special guest.
Absolutely. And like JB said, we were at the vineyard on Sunday. Sunday's the best day to go for us personally because their brunch is just absolutely fantastic. I think, listen, they've got great lunch and dinner, but around here, there's not a lot of great spots for brunch. So the vineyard is the top of our list.
Yeah.
The quality of the food is amazing. The service is great, as always. And that's just the number one spot to go to in all of Orlando, I think, personally. So we appreciate everything that the vineyard does, not just for us, but the rest of the community. And if you haven't been yet, I don't know what the hell you're doing. So we'll see you there.
All right, guys, here it is.
Uh-oh.
Look who I have with
Wow.
me tonight. I have Scooter.
There he is.
Hey, if you've ever watched the Dukes of Hazzard, this is my Scooter.
How you doing, guys?
Great to see you, Mr. Driver.
Great to
Hope
hear from
everything's
you.
well.
Yeah.
It's doing good. We're enjoying it out here.
If you can only imagine,
Oh my God. What was that?
he just grabbed my leg and everything broke.
What?
Wait, who's been drinking
But,
whiskey tonight?
Yeah.
That's him. But the best part about it is friendship and people who are willing to sacrifice and do for others is hard to come by. So when you value people, you keep them around because you know they're upstanding and they're going to do what they're supposed to do when they say they're going to do it.
We're not talking about
So-
this guy sitting next to you, are we?
What's that?
I said we're not talking about this guy sitting next to you, are we?
Yeah, we're talking about Scooter tonight.
Well, I just got something to say here, guys, before we get kicked off here. A couple months ago, I made a bet with Rob, and I feel that a grown man should do this. If you lose a bet or borrow money, you should always pay up. So there's your $100 bill that I did lose the bet. But also, if you borrow money, you should always pay it back.
If you both know me, how many times have you ever seen me lose a bet?
All the time when you're with us.
Yeah, exactly. So the best part about it is, Scooter, I appreciate you paying your bet. I knew when you made the bet you were going to lose, and I felt bad taking the money from you.
Extingent circumstances, or I wouldn't have lost.
I hear you. But let's get into it, guys. It's been 2 years since Hamas did what they did in Israel. And I know it's difficult, hard to talk about the fun that we started the show with, but at the Robb Crocker Show, we always tell the truth. And it's been 2 years since a catastrophic event took place, and everyone still has it in their mind that this is just going to get settled. We all know where I stand political, and I think that people are kidding themselves to think this is just going to end now. It's been going on for 2,000/3,000 years. Do I believe that President Trump has it in his heart and really wants this to end? Absolutely. But in my heart, in my soul, and in the factual life of the Bible and everything else, it's not going to end, guys.
Correct.
You can hear Hamas already. The deadline has been extended. It was going to be Friday. It was going to be Sunday. Today's Tuesday. Why hasn't it ended, JB?
I mean, we all know it's not going to end, right? I think there's limitations we can put on either side, but I don't think it's ever going to end, right? You said it yourself.
Hamas, maybe they go lay their guns down. Maybe they do. Maybe Hezbollah says, we're going to lay our guns down. It does not matter when they do that. It has nothing to do with the weapon. It has to do with the ideology and the thinking of the people. Okay, they don't have a gun. They're going to pick up a rock. They're going to pick up a hammer. They're going to pick up a knife.
Yeah.
They're not all of a sudden going to say, Kumbaya, all is well. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, they've been going at it for 3,000 years, and it's not going to stop.
So, Gonzo, why does the date keep getting pushed back? Is it because Trump is just allowing them to see what happens, or the whole world has okayed this deal? the deal is hinging on Hamas and Hezbollah. So why has the deal not come to fruition?
Personally, I believe that both sides don't actually want peace. I think the rest of the world wants peace, but when you look at the actual two sides that are fighting against each other, they both don't want peace. You may have certain people come to the table and say, yeah, let's get this peace deal approved. And even if it does get approved, the next day you wake up and see that there was another bombing, another attack of some sorts. So
Exactly.
just
How long
because-
will it actually last?
right, just because they come to the table and say, yeah, we want to make peace, let's do it today,
Just for
their,
breathing.
their actions say otherwise.
They just do it for breathing room.
Pretty
Get
much.
geared up to do it again.
So when I look at this, I think I actually talked to a friend of mine. Scooter heard the conversation. I called him. He's in Jordan. In Jordan, right there in the Middle East. I said, what is your opinion on this? He said, they're never going to end. It's not going to stop. It's like having two siblings. Okay? JB, you gave a great example. Somebody got hit in the head. The mom and dad said, you can't fight like that. Well, a week later, the other sibling comes back and hits the other person in the head. It's never going to end. It's not meant to end. I've tried to avoid talking about the Bible. I've quoted a couple Bible verses over the past 3 or 4 weeks that I find relevant to the show. But to think the war in Israel is ever going to end, the Zionists continue to create. You can look at 9/11. You can look at a lot of different things. Who causes the pain? Is it the Americans? Is it Hamas? Is it Hezbollah? Or is it the Zionists?
Personally, I don't think that the Americans have any power in this situation. And if they truly want to end it, it's not going to happen. I do think that, personally, this whole situation is under control by the state of Israel. And ultimately, their plan and decision is what's going to be pushed, regardless of what they say in front of the camera.
Both of you know how passionately I love this country. To see this country get manipulated and taken advantage of by someone, some country, to the point that it becomes a laughing stock or a joke.
Yeah.
We're doing it internally now. It's not outside of the U.S. When I, literally for the past 2 days, I've driven / ridden, and I've looked outside of the passenger side window and the driver's side window, and I've told myself that I would have been a pretty shitty cowboy. I didn't have the desire or the wherewithal to look out and never see anything, to get on a horse and ride. Go west, young man. That wouldn't have been me. I would have stayed east and figured out a way to make money. But where we are today, when you look at municipalities who've elected weak, incompetent mayors, city council, school board, they are the detriment of our country. Then you allow governors from certain states to be the umbrella representing people who don't want to be represented by their ideas. This is where anarchy and chaos genuinely can come in. It was so disheartening and disingenuous when I heard a police / chief duty cop tell the 911 operator, do not send backup to an area in Chicago when ICE agents were in peril, danger. Why is that happening, guys?
Do you know what he's talking about? Did you see that?
I think so.
Personally, well, first of all, I think one of the reasons why you would never be a cowboy is because you so carelessly let the horse loose from the.
I knew that was coming out.
I'm sorry, I had to say it. But back to your question.
They fucking gate.
Back to your question. I honestly believe that.
The gate. Did you hear the gate story?
Personally, well, my opinion on it is, it's so hard for me to articulate. But essentially, you have two different wings from this same side, meaning like the right, for example. You have ICE, and then you have the local police, and because there's so many different entities involved that have power over certain groups,
Like,
there's still ways for the powers that be to essentially have their way at the end, if that makes sense.
what scares me, Gonzo, is it's time for people to step up and defend what they believe in. You can't continue to be a follower. The mayor of Chicago has less than 5% people who support him. The governor of Chicago has less than 30%. But you continue to see these people out on news networks. Go to the streets of Chicago and Illinois and ask them, do you want your cities to be safe? Do what they say. Do you want your state to be safe? No one wants to walk outside of their house and to become a victim of the circumstances. That's one of the great things about living in Florida. Predominantly anywhere and everywhere you go, you're safe.
I'd say so, especially being here where we are.
I would even be willing to say you could go downtown Orlando.
I'm just glad we can all agree that Florida's the best state out of all the 50 states.
Colorado's pretty nice.
I was going to say, I'm sure we have people here that can disagree with that.
I haven't seen an ocean yet, so I'm not going to move to Colorado. So, but you know what I haven't seen either? Exactly.
Well,
So
I will say when you bring up downtown Orlando, it's definitely gotten worse.
Yeah.
So I would
Avoid it.
No, I mean 100%. I don't even know if that's in the conversation anymore. But as far as the rest of Florida goes, it's relatively safe. Downtown Orlando is a whole different story, though. The politics there is similar to what you're seeing in the other cities you described, I think.
But why is that, guys? Is it that the people who you got to realize? And I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Don Miller, the Don Miller Show. I was on his show 2 years ago, and I told him, you are hiring the people that you're electing. It is your responsibility to go and look and see what they stand for. Would you hire this person if you're hiring someone for the school board? Do you want this person involved in your child's life? Do you want this person being involved in teaching curriculum to your children? All right. Now you go to the mayor. Do you want this person representing anything that you care about? This is where everyone gets lost. We vote these people in, which is slash hiring them. You have the greatest power. You are in charge of HR. You are the human resource department of putting this person in a position to where they have authoritative figure. So why do people hire these people?
I think part of the reason is, number one, the system is rigged. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But two, if you look at the masses and what they're even just saying for themselves based on their opinions, is if you're getting your information from any sort of, number one, mainstream media, or even a lot of the popular influencer media that we know are bought and paid for too, your opinions on real life are not legitimate because you're simply repeating what you hear. So people need to actually do research for themselves, go look with their own eyes and listen with their own ears, because most people today, with the access they have on social media, just their phones in general, they're simply repeating information they hear without fact checking or just running it through their basic checks in their mind. It's like, is this real or is this not? You don't have people asking those questions to themselves.
So when you hear me tell you that a mayor of Chicago does not want to protect his city, am I lying to you? Am I lying to the audience? I say this over and over and over. Let your eyes, let your ears dictate the truth. Scooter, am I lying?
You're not lying, but we've got the dispatch call to the police. Do not go to this area to back up ice. Then you get the chief of police get on there. No, this never happened when we've seen it and heard it. But the other news stations, mainstream media, will not play that part.
So why is it that there's such a division in our country to where people want to bring hostility and animosity between us? Because hell, all I want to do is love and care about everybody and be happy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a situation where it's not tolerable.
It's the free shit army. Once they outnumber us, it's never going to go back the same way. If you can promise people free shit, they will vote exactly who they want in office. And if the more you can promise them, the more votes they have.
Mom Donnie.
Well, here we go. It's time to transition to the free shit army of New York City. My favorite commie.
Mom Donnie.
Who is he, JB?
Mondami. MTC.
What's his name?
MTC.
That's right. So, we cannot allow him to be elected. He's probably a nice guy. He's probably a great guy. He probably needs to go to the gym and learn how to bench press. He probably needs to do a couple of other things. But so be it. He's a nice guy. But he does not need to become the mayor of New York City. He will completely, unilaterally destroy the financial hub of the United States of America unilaterally by his decisions. I won't be able to sit at Branch and Barrel. And the reason I say this is because anyone who is someone who has the wherewithal of wanting to substantiate and stand on their own feet in their own foundation of what they believe in, they're not going to stay and be in an environment to where they have to go to a grocery store and be told they can only have one loaf of bread. They can only be told that they can have this one type of food. People don't understand why everywhere else in the world that this is transition hasn't worked. And the people who have lived there and have fled there tell people that this will be devastating to the city and devastating to the country.
All them other places didn't do it right.
Oh, that's why. Oh, okay.
How should they have done it?
Well, like the book says, the Communist Manifesto, they were doing it all wrong. That's what every one of them says.
All right.
Wasn't right.
Tell me how to do it right.
I don't know. I don't do communist stuff.
I think that's called sarcasm, Rob.
So the Socialist Communist Manifesto, I've always, if you look at children, if they go and work for something and they get it, I can promise you they appreciate it and they will care for it more than the child who was handed it, who was given to them. The person who worked for it, take care of it. The person who was given doesn't give a shit. So this is where this runs parallel / socialism / communism. And we have to be careful of the razor's edge, because one way or the other, if you fall off, you're going to get cut.
Yeah.
100%. I think at the end of the day, when it comes to Mamdani, and Jared and I were actually talking about this the other day, and Scooter basically said it as well, is as soon as you promise, especially the younger generation, hey, we got a lot of free shit for you, that's all they need to hear. Especially with the economy right now, it's so easy to kind of trick these people into saying, listen, there's free stuff here as long as you vote for me. That's pretty much all they need to hear.
Now we have dumb and lazy people who aren't doing anything, voting the wrong way.
So when you look at this, how do you stop it?
I think the short answer is you can't.
Yeah.
The long answer,
How can you? All right, you say you can't. There was only 900,000 people who voted in the Democratic primary. You've gotten rid of Eric Adams. You got a fucking sleazebag in Cuomo, and you got a guy that wants to give the world away. People who won't and care about New York City have to go out and vote for Cuomo. You have to vote for the least of the two evils.
but how are
Well,
you
the
going to
Demo-
convince these people to do that?
On something good here this last week or so, if you've been paying attention to them about what we're supposedly trying to start, that might be a pretty good solution.
What is it? What are you talking about?
Well, those Democrats are swearing we're wanting to start a civil war. We can go round two. We know which ones to go around.
Who wants to start a civil war? Which Democrats?
Supposedly the right wing wants to start a civil war. That's what we've been trying to do with all this ICE stuff. We're picking on them bad.
The Republicans or the
The
Democrats?
Republicans want to start the civil war. That's what the Democrats are saying.
I visually see the Republicans wanting to protect Democratic cities and municipalities to keep all of those people safe.
Yes, but that's not what the Democrats see. So why don't we just go along with their idea? Get this ball started.
3 words, less is more. So we're not going into the Civil War. We're going to go back to less is more. But we have to figure out a way because Mamdani's just one step. If he were to happen to win in New York City, I could see Denver, Colorado. I could see places, Portland, Oregon. I could see places like that follow suit, and
The balkanization of the United States, which leads to civil war.
I'm glad to have Scooter with us tonight.
Always.
I'm not making this the least bit racial. I'm talking Civil War. Just two completely different thinking sides.
How would Civil War plan out in your mind? In the United States right now? Share that with me.
I haven't thought about that much.
So,
all these losers that want to line their pockets and are using people who will follow them to do it.
there you go. Followers will follow big money.
At the end of the day, that's yeah.
And big money is who all of the small people think will be the ones who take care of them.
Free shit.
Free. Everyone wants to hear the word free. This is why if you go back and look at when Joe Biden was talking about eliminating student debt, that's why that was such a great topic, because it was giving away something for nothing. But you're giving away something for nothing that someone else worked for to ultimately give the money to pay the debt.
Right. Well, listen, at the end of the day, you can print as much money as you want. That doesn't solve the problem. Someone at the end of the day is paying for it.
So when you look at people dying in Portland, people dying in all of these cities, there's someone who's losing someone they care about. There has to be someone with enough compassion and empathy to want to take care of them and see them rise back to the top. Everyone in these neighborhoods is not following and drinking the Kool-Aid. So, Portland, Chicago, if you want your city to be safe, ask yourself, how does my city become safe? Take the guns off the street, have situations to where police are patrolling. I don't know. It's your city. What do you want?
Well, it's not my city. I think that a lot of the cities in Orlando, a lot of cities in Florida, state of Florida in general, are taking safety very seriously, for the most part. I think that there's states that you can use as examples, or cities you can use as examples, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, Crocker, what the people living there want, because they really aren't the ones that are in control.
So when you get up in the morning and you leave your house, who's controlling you?
Who's controlling me?
It's me.
Yeah.
Me. I am.
All right. Who's controlling everyone else?
Themselves.
It depends.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I can't speak for everyone.
But I'm trying to be the double-edged sword of what you just said. There's leaders and there's followers. Who are the followers actually following?
It's such a broad question, Rob. I mean, I get where you're trying to go at, but I think it's much more complicated than just talking points.
All right, well, here you go. This is where the followers need to follow. They need to go to the Robb Crocker Show, subscribe and like. The Robb Crocker Show / Robb Crocker is never wrong, and I'm never going to steer you down a path to where you can't swim. You might get wet, but you're always going to be able to swim. We've talked about so many things that have so much relevance on your happiness. And the only person who controls your happiness is yourself. Make a decision that allows you and your family to be in a situation, to be in a better spot tomorrow than you are today.
I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, what I do with my life doesn't dictate what happens politically, whether it's my city or some other city. So I can do the best I can for myself and my family to live the best life. But at the end of the day, my efforts alone aren't going to contribute to the change that happens here in my city or here in the state or in other cities. I think that there's not enough people that have gotten together to participate in the same mission. Everyone is living their own lives. Everyone has their own distractions. And I think that's the goal at the end of the day, is to continue to distract the masses, whether it's entertainment, whether it's fear tactics, whatever it is, keep them distracted. And it doesn't matter what you sit back and say with your friends or what you think amongst each other. Nothing's actually going to get changed.
Keep them entertained and they'll never look beneath the surface.
Exactly.
So when I hear you and Scooter say this, I think about the spaceship that's heading towards Earth. And when it lands, what are you, JB, and Scooter going to do? Because are you just going to follow whatever the hell the Martians say do? Or are you going to try to fight them off?
Again, it's a distraction.
Why are you going combative already? They might be nice.
You want to start a civil war with the aliens already?
Oh, we haven't met them yet.
That's intergalactic. That's not civil.
Well, once they, migrate here and become citizens, then it would be a civil war.
Ah,
Hey,
step number one.
I don't know that ICE can deport all of them.
No. I don't think they have the capability.
So, what's funny to me is you read about it on social media, but you never hear about any of this on the major news networks. So is it real? Is it not happening? Or is it going to happen? But you have supposedly a very smart Harvard professor telling everyone that this is not a meteor. So
It's not.
preparation equals success. What's going to happen? Is it going to be a hurricane to where everyone goes to the grocery store and buys a
Toilet paper, eggs.
That's good. Toilet paper would be a good one, JB.
I need some for sure.
I think at the end of the day, I don't let someone's degree/education be the only source of validity for what someone says. So when
Exactly.
you say smart Harvard professor and alien in the same sentence, you've automatically lost me.
Well, the one thing I learned today that I didn't know was how phenomenal Branch and Barrel was. Just watching the system, how it was put together, when it was originated to where it is today. So I've been very lucky and fortunate to be out here with these guys. So as we wrap up the show, Scooter, what is it you want to get off your ship tonight?
Mostly Robb Crocker. I really want to be out of the truck with him. Not fun.
He said he's going to get him out of the car.
Yeah, out of the truck. It's not a fun ride. I'm done. One more day. We're good.
He doesn't understand how lucky he actually is. He's sitting there beside me watching someone actually work.
We got them laughing.
Because everybody thinks I don't work. But they all, somehow I managed to do what I do.
What exactly is that you've done?
Business.
Business, that's right.
I can't be too mean. He's buying me dinner for my birthday tonight.
It is, Scooter.
Even though I did take time off my schedule to come out here and chauffeur him around to help him out on my birthday.
He's going to use that $100 you gave him in the beginning to pay for your dinner. So really,
I know
you're
what I
paying
was
for
thinking.
dinner.
JB, what do you got on your mind tonight, my man?
I got a job today.
You got what?
I got another job.
He's walking unemployment off the ship.
Exactly.
How many jobs do you have now?
7.
Something like that, yeah.
But if he only has 6 jobs, he considers that unemployment. By the 7th job, he's actually employed.
I gotta stay busy.
So what is it you do that you actually enjoy doing, JB?
Well, on Tuesdays, the Robb Crocker Show for sure. The Cigar Guys podcast, all the media, supporting Besa, Sanprai,
Branch and Barrel.
Branch and Barrel, Blackheart Gear. The list goes on. And, of course, being a software engineer, too.
Well, did anything happen this week that just made you want to just burn your ship?
No.
For JB, it's never that bad.
Well, Gonzo, what do you got?
Man, let's see. What makes me want to burn my ship?
First, by a
I'll
ship.
tell you one thing. Driving to the airport all the time is getting exhausting. So
Yeah.
I think we should just walk MCO off the ship. Maybe I'll go to the Sanford airport instead. I don't know. And then I can get on a Denver flight, drink Branch and Barrel, and everything's going to be okay.
Absolutely.
Well, our goal is we want Branch and Barrel to be on every Frontier airline flight coming out of Orlando, coming out of Tampa, going to all their destinations. So that is the goal for the end of 2025.
Better get to work in overtime. I know you work all the time, but you're going to have to add something. We're going to add something else to our plate.
Well, speaking of work, I want to get the pessimists that complain about the wind and the optimists that expects it to change, but the realists adjust the sail to make the Robb Crocker Show move forward every week.
That and the haters.
Well, I
love
hope
the
this touches the haters tonight. I'm going to give everybody a close. James 1:16. I think this is very important based off of what we've talked about all night. That be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And give yourself the opportunity for your heart and mind to understand the situation, to evaluate how to proceed in a way that makes the environment better, that makes your life better, and that allows you to be a better person.
And that, my friends, is Bible Study with Robb Crocker.
It's that simple, guys. It takes 30 seconds to a minute to 2 minutes just to understand that we all have the opportunity to be better people and provide a better life for your neighbor and for all of us simultaneously.
Absolutely. Wise words by Robb Crocker. I want to personally thank Branch and Barrel for opening the doors and hosting tonight's show and showcasing all the wonderful products that they have, all the different spirits, not just whiskey, but tequila. We're excited for that. Of course, Scooter's here. Always love having Scooter here. Thank you for taking care of Rob on his grand adventure out there in the West.
I'm trying. It's difficult, but I'm trying.
One thing I want to talk about real quick, I think we can go to the website on Branch and Barrel, but they have a charity barrel that they are creating that will be available, that everyone should have the opportunity to go look at, figure out the dynamic on it, and it's a way to raise money for charity.
Absolutely. Again, that link is down in the description below, babdistilling.com. And go check it out, Branch and Barrel. If anything, just go take a little browse. And listen, I'm not kidding you. This stuff is fantastic. We've been drinking it for about a year plus, and it's my favorite whiskey personally. Also, again, This is going to be on social media so you can learn more, but you're going to have a chance to enter a giveaway to get one of these great hats. Hopefully I don't steal it from you, but no, 2 of you guys are going to win these hats. And again, I appreciate everyone that's been involved in this episode, even Scooter. I appreciate you the most. Rob, as always, great to see you. And everyone watching, if you haven't yet, subscribe. It's free. Notification bell, also free. Go to @The Robb Crocker Show on social media to learn more about the giveaway and just keep in touch with all the content we're producing. And until next week,